Vitaly thought it would be a great idea to steal a motorcycle, an industrial fan, a red light mask, and a couple guard hats, and then harass a bunch of Filipino citizens for his own live stream content.
Influencing is never going to be seen as a real job, and it's like people will give us less credit than an athlete.
My house just burnt down. Here's some footage of the tragedy. Let me weave an ad for a protein shake in the middle of it.
So I don't even know how to start this video today other than saying that I gathered a ton of different clips of influencers just being the worst people you could think of. Normally I have some sort of structure for these videos, but these clips are going to be all over the place today. We have influencers breaking laws for content, lying to their viewers, shilling every product under the sun just to get you to buy, getting exposed for how fabricated their lives are for social media, and honestly how out of touch so many of them have become. We really have it all. I also have some comments from you guys from previous videos, so if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. But let's start off with this one of a very popular influencer forcing a child to vape on camera.
Right after this incident, I fully cooperated with law enforcement and took full responsibility for my actions on that day. I am truly deeply sorry for the pain that I've caused that family now and then. I am so sorry for anyone that I've hurt with that video.
She's not sorry for what she did. She's just sorry that she got caught, because this resurfaced after she became a famous influencer, obviously becoming her full-time job, and she's going to lose everything because of it. We could go right over to the comments. She blamed it on her mom passing. How does that even relate? What's so funny? As a mother, the rage I felt watching this. I do think it's also interesting that all of these influencer or YouTuber apologies almost sound identical in the way that they speak, which just tells me even more. She's sorry that she got caught and doesn't want to lose all of her possible brand deals and the money coming in. But we could switch over to the next clip of James Charles clearly faking his reactions, all in the name to make a better TikTok video.
Look at the face he makes at the end of the video. Everything these people do is a performance. And it's not just James Charles, it's also regular people like this couple in Greece. To all the people who call me a bully for wanting to de-influence the world, I would ask you if this is a world that you want to live in.
There are so many examples of this as well. If you look up on Instagram influencers in the wild, the entire page is dedicated to the ridiculousness of influencers just like this. But James Charles has to be positive on his Disney trip because he's so big he could probably have a partnership with them. It just proves my point even more, how fake these online personalities are. And then a whole bunch of the comments were making fun of him, the toddler stance. Why is it so hard for them to be honest and authentic? And to add on all of these influencers recording themselves, making them look so good. We have a comment from one of you guys: when you do a good deed, you don't need to record yourself and post your greatness for the whole world to see. I feel like everybody watching this video has probably seen that before on YouTube, Instagram. Somebody makes a video giving $1,000 to a homeless person, and then that garners millions of views, overall making them even more money than they gave away, along with making them look like a saint, and they're such a good person, right? On top of all the examples that we've seen previously on this channel about influencers lying about being very good people and donating, it's all for the camera, and as soon as they stop recording, they just completely walk away.
I just saw the most insane thing, and I feel like I have to come on here and share it, and I also don't know why people are fake. Anyways, went to the beach. There's this mom came with her little daughter. They're kind of wearing matching swimsuits-ish, whatever. Anyway, so she like pulls out her tripod and she like sets it up. She pulls out her like little blanket and her little umbrella thing and set that all up, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, starts camcording her and her daughter like building a sandcastle, whatever. And I was like, oh, like that's kind of cute. Like, I wish that I was better at that. Like, I need to record more of me and my kids, or I need to take more pictures of me and my kids, because a lot of times like I forget. She is like playing for about 10 seconds and then she stops and she gets up and she looks at her phone, and then she kind of looks at it and was like, she doesn't really like it. So she goes back to the kid. She knocks over part of the sandcastle, and I'm not even kidding, she knocks it over, and the kid is like, Mom. But the kid is also not super frustrated, and it looks like this has happened before. And so then she like is like, okay, now we're gonna do it again, and then they start rebuilding the same sandcastle after like her phone is recording them.
This is only a part of the story as well. It gets even worse. Everything, again, is fabricated. They go out into the ocean and play, but it has to be the perfect angle, so nothing in the end is actually authentic. But thank God you got some Instagram likes and attention online, right? Some of the comments here. Someone said recently they saw Avery Woods at a farmer's market and it was like a Black Mirror episode. She was constantly moving and setting up her tripod, then gasping and talking to her phone, reacting to what she found there. Then she was ignoring her family and just moving around with the tripod to make content. This video plus James Charles at Epcot, the clip that we just saw, just reinforced my belief that influencers act so oddly and are just performers. There are so many clips of these people just acting like brats as well. Here's one influencer upset that the airport is too noisy for her to relax. Influencer crying because she can't take sunset photos. Her camera ended up breaking and she decided to record herself crying and posting it online as if it's relatable. Here's just a really quick clip that I grabbed from a repost because surprise, surprise, the original was taken down because of how ridiculous the statement was.
Influencing is never going to be seen as a real job, and it's like people will give us less credit than an athlete.
People will give influencers less credit than a professional athlete. Yes, you pulling out your phone and recording your day in the life is not the same as catching the final touchdown to win the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. But this is really how these people start to think, because they end up gaining a large following, sometimes very quickly as well, so they just think that they're better than anybody else around them.
We have some breaking news right now about New York City influencers. Influencers now believe themselves to be under attack by the general public. Influencer Kaylee from Kaylee in the City was known to have quoted, "It's so disrespectful. I set up my camera to lip sync to a Sabrina Carpenter song and a man actually walked in front of it." And Kaylee is not alone. Hundreds of influencers have reported similar run-ins with the public. For example, people walking dogs, feeding pigeons, and even, brace yourselves, existing in the background of their videos. More to come. Follow along as I update you on Public Gate.
It's so disrespectful. Babe, it's disrespectful to assume that you're anything more than a speck in the cultural hub with over 10 million people in NYC. I'm glad they're finally realizing it. Go back to Idaho. They need to move to Long Island or something. People in New York barely respect full-on TV and movie productions on the street. What do influencers expect for themselves, honestly? I grew up a little bit over 30 minutes away from NYC, so I've been there a fair amount in my life. And if you think people from New Jersey are mean, just wait until you get into the city. But apparently the whole world has to stop, so you could do a TikTok dance for some attention.
Typically, is that we are the brands held to the absolute highest of standards.
Is this the same woman who was supposed to be promoting a mascara brand and put fake lashes on in her video to promote the mascara? Like, it really lengthened your lashes?
So if you don't know who that was Michaela Nogueira. We've talked about her a few times, one of the biggest faces in the beauty guru scene. She's also complained about how hard being a social media star is, having to do brand meetings every day and then film for a few hours a day. Oh, the horror. But she was also caught lying about her eyelashes to promote her brand. Why am I not surprised? Go easy on her. She worked till 5 p.m. She's clearly exhausted. That was a reference to the Out of Touch video from a while ago saying how hard her life was. What happened to her heavy accent? Very good point there as well. In a lot of her clips, she has an extremely heavy New England accent that from many different examples she puts on just to gain more attention. So even her voice is a lie. Where's her harsh accent? Again, another comment from you guys. I swear in 10 years we'll look back at the influencer era like some sort of collective fever dream and we'll wonder what was wrong with us. I mean, I hope that's the case, but before this, people were just as crazy with celebrities and the red carpet, everything to do with Hollywood, and this is just the new version of it because everybody sits on their phones all day long now.
New York, another Instagrammer that fasts his money is about to go to jail. He said he made all his money in sports betting, but had 14 different IDs, and now has 14 counts of fraud. Don't believe the internet. Remember this man who had all those cars in front of his house? Well, he went to jail for illegal fire sticks. That's how he made all his money. Remember this man? He used to give out money to fast food workers. Well, you were scamming people out of Bitcoin and had a fake investment company. Remember this guy, this African scammer that will flash online? Well, he's doing 11 years in the feds. and got arrested from Dubai.
The amount of gurus and social media stars that would flaunt all their wealth or make it look like they're such good people, right? Giving money away to fast food workers are almost always the people who end up getting caught and actually doing prison time, not just getting canceled online, committing crimes and going to jail. But let's switch over to TikTok and selling you everything under the sun.
Just like that, I'm saved from losing all my muscle mass. I just received my Bloom creatine monohydrate in the mail literally less than an hour ago.
So we're going to cut it off there because you already know what she's going to say in the rest of the video. This is the best product ever. I guess you just taking creatine will now keep your muscle mass on forever, which creatine does have positive effects, but you still have to be regularly working out along with having a solid diet. But she goes on and on with her audience that seems to be a bit older that you absolutely need to get this Bloom product. From my link, please, I need the commission, and everything will just magically be okay. We've already talked about Bloom before because they sponsor so many different influencers. They had one that was just an instant anti-bloat, just a bunch of nonsense products that are made out to be the best thing on the planet. Stronger, smarter, and energized, creatine isn't just for the bros. It's your new secret weapon. So why are all the bodybuilders hopping on Tren and HGH? All you need is this Bloom creatine, I guess. Another comment from you guys. People will literally eat magic internet powder instead of eating a vegetable. Everybody wants a secret, a hack, instead of just doing it the plain old-fashioned proven way of a healthy nutrition and exercise program.
I don't believe any of those videos. Like, I'm a stay-at-home mom, I have 8,000 followers, and I made $56,000 on TikTok last month. For the past several months, my For You page has been flooded with videos like this, and this, and this. All of people claiming to make thousands of dollars on TikTok Shop. I called bullshit. I was like, there is no way that this is possible. The way I was descended upon by the TikTok Shop affiliate community, I decided to take matters in my own hands and post TikTok Shop videos for an entire month, and here are the results. Now, why I started this experiment is because a lot of the time you will go to these affiliate people's pages and they are all selling courses, selling Discord groups, questionable how they got their numbers with their views, how they even got a following in the first place. So I got all the tea and all the secrets, honey.
So not surprising at all, it's much easier to sell a course showing that it's so easy to sell on TikTok Shop. All you gotta do is post a couple videos and the checks just start rolling in. Oh man, I make so much money. And if you say anything negative about it, you start getting harassed in the comment section. Before we go to the second part of this clip, we can look at some of the comments. It's like the new age MLM pyramid scheme. People go viral for making fraud claims. It's literally such a scam. I appreciate a recent creator showed she made $400 in a week after posting 50 plus videos daily. That is a job. So we could go over to what she ended up finding out about this community.
It seems that most people are buying accounts with 5,000 to 6,000 followers are doing this to bypass a threshold in TikTok Shop, which you can post multiple TikTok Shop videos a day. Once you hit 5,000, you can go ham and post 100 a day. That is what seems to be the general practice of most TikTok Shop affiliates, making TikTok Shop only accounts, blasting those videos out in the hopes that one goes viral. If that video goes viral, they are claiming that you will make thousands of dollars. Seems to be a lot of strategy behind how people are picking products. But people are also claiming that some accounts are getting shadow banned, some perform better than others, and so they are not able to provide conclusive numbers for how much money they make because they have multiple TikTok Shop accounts. Some will have 3 TikTok Shop accounts, say they're making $100,000 a month, and they won't compile the screenshots. They won't compile the receipt.
I don't know, seems to me it would be really easy to just switch accounts and hit the screenshot button on your smartphone, but apparently that's too difficult for all these gurus. Please buy my $100 course. And in the end, it's just making a ridiculous amount of videos and hopefully getting lucky that one hits the algorithm. That's it. There's no real secret other than that. So as the comment said before, if you're making 50 plus videos a day, it doesn't seem nearly as easy as all of these people try to make it out to be. It would actually take hours out of your day, possibly even the same as a normal 9 to 5. And there's no guarantee that anything will happen. Maybe all of the videos just get stuck in that 300 view range and you make no money. But speaking of advertisements, especially in the middle of videos, we have this next clip that is a repost because the original was taken down, but we just gotta roll it.
On Friday, August 22nd, our world was turned upside down when a fire broke out in our garage. I've been through a lot of tough things in my life, but this one takes... Since then, we have been trying to to salvage what we can. But most of what wasn't taken by the fire reeks of smoke or is destroyed by water damage. Presley's closet was the farthest from the fire, so I rushed to try to save her clothes. It has been a process, airing them out for 24 hours, soaking them in vinegar and borax for a few hours, and then washing them again and again. Every day, I just remind myself what matters most and that my family is safe. Still in the midst of all of this, I'm finding some days I only eat once or twice and I don't get nearly enough protein. That's why doing a Live Body protein shake is such a lifesaver. They're quick, easy, made with all natural ingredients.
Guys, we've reached peak influencer. My house just burnt down. Here's some footage of the tragedy. Let me weave an ad for a protein shake in the middle of it.
You really can't make this stuff up. And this has gotten a ton of traction online. And I've seen that some people have gone to her defense because obviously her house just burnt down. It's terrible. So people are saying it's completely fine, go get that bag. But if she made a video just straight up saying, hey, my house just burnt down, I'm going to need money to repair it, here's an advertisement for the protein shake, I think a lot more people would have understood. But she did one of those sneaky, seamless transitions into an ad that so many of us see online, especially on YouTube videos now, but it does happen all over social media too. And to be honest, it just irks me the wrong way. I don't really know what to say. It just seemed like an episode of Black Mirror because you just went through a tragedy and somehow are still trying to get your followers to buy a protein powder. Another comment from you guys: if I see an influencer being sponsored by something, I automatically assume it's a scam. Makes me trust the product even less. But keeping on with the fitness industry, not surprising, we still have so many people lying about their natural status.
Hussein Farhat was officially exposed for being a fake natty. Now, this came out of nowhere from Greg Doucette after commenting on a recent video and post, and this is exactly what it says. It turns out Hussein was actually on a 16-month cycle when he first joined the gym, involving a lot of steroids as well as MK677, and then hopped off and has a certain type of polymorphism that allows him to keep all of his gains. I was shocked as everyone. I'm sure once this video comes out, but I was not part of it. I did not know that he had done this for the first 16th months of his lifting career, and I'm truly not sure where Greg actually got this info from, but it had to be very recently because this whole fake natty debacle never went away after Jeff Nippard posted a video with Hussein Farhat and Julian Fitzgerald, which Greg and Jeff are two guys in the industry that have a lot of credibility and they both believe their word and their blood work. Now, some people are saying they did this for the money and views, which sure, that could be true, but the blood work is the blood work, and if he took this 3 or 4 years ago, the blood work isn't going to show that most likely. And Greg also said Hussein will be addressing this situation in the next couple days, and it's unfortunate. It's another guy who sold his whole thing on being a natural and is now making money off of people because he completely lied. And I'm not gonna lie, this makes Julian Fitzgerald also look questionable as well.
This is just one of the recent examples. This has happened so many times in the fitness industry because now you need to look bigger and better than everybody that came before you, and then you get to sell out your workout program or be a coach, get sponsored by Gymshark or something like that, having affiliate links as well. So it legitimately pays to lie about your natural status, take steroids to get as big as possible, and just start collecting checks. I made an entire dedicated video about this, and I asked you guys, are there any other fitness influencers that I missed? Too many. It's like mopping with the water still pouring in. I'm sure you could start a new channel with a weekly upload focused on the exact topic and you would never run out of material. But we'll switch over to an example that I legitimately thought the first time looking at this, it had to be a satire account. This guy was just making fun of all the other gurus, but we could just roll the first clip.
Call me crazy, but if you put $200 in a trading account and grow it at 2% every single day for 250 days, you get around $7,000.
You guys didn't think of that before? Just 2% every single day? Why stop there? 5%, 10% a day? It's really that easy. Forget all the people that try to do that for a living on Wall Street. You should just be listening to this guy. So if you compare this to a lot of the other day trading gurus, this seems very low quality, which is why I initially thought it was a joke, but we can look at some of the comments. Yeah, it's not that easy. It would be great if there was a platform that existed like that. DM me to join to get started today with an Instagram. So first we'll take a look at his TikTok with a whopping 126 followers. Investor trader helping people attain Wi-Fi. Doesn't really look like it's gaining too much traction, but we could head over to his Instagram. That is much different from his 125 followers. This one has almost exactly 50,000. Kinda odd that there's such a difference between his platforms. But if we go over to one of his posts 6 days ago, has a whopping 8 likes with 50K followers. What does that tell you? Basically, all of his followers were bought to inflate the numbers to make him look more legit, but he hasn't done that yet on TikTok, so his account is very small.
Have you been wanting to learn how to trade, but you just don't know where to start? I'll put you on game. AkashX has the best financial resources, education, and software to help you achieve your goals.
Okay, so a little bit of advice. If you're trying to be a guru and grift people with the courses, you have to get a little bit better at speaking to the camera. I know that I'm probably not the best example because I have a million jump cuts in my videos, right? But a lot of the other gurus that we've taken a look at on this channel have charisma, maybe they're jacked, they have a big mansion, or a Lamborghini in the background trying to make it look like they're super rich. This doesn't have any of it. It just looks really rough. I don't really know what else to say, but I thought that this screenshot went really well with the last clip. If you've genuinely made enough money from your side hustle to retire at 30, why are you still on my feed 9 times a day trying to sell me a course? Go retire or something. Couldn't have really said it better myself. But we're gonna finish off with a couple of streamers, YouTubers, I guess just social media personalities, because they end up getting banned off of many platforms just being terrible human beings for content.
If you guys want to be pissed for the next couple of minutes, I'm going to show you guys a certain individual who just recently got arrested by the Korean police for harassing people. So what this guy essentially does in his whole shtick is basically going to public spaces, having a speaker on him, and then when people donate stuff, he'll do the text-to-speech, so they say something crazy or annoying or whatever, and then he'll just act a fool in public. Usually it's just innocent people who are going about their day, they're just, you know, minding their own business. His whole purpose in life is to go around and make people feel uncomfortable. Now there's a catch. He only goes to countries where he knows that they're not going to really do anything to him because they're too polite. For example, he tried this in Japan already, where he ended up having to flee the country, and now he's in Korea, and he's stuck in Korea because he was harassing people on the street to the point where there was a full-blown manhunt for this guy. Now, if he tried this in any other country, for example, if he tried this in Mexico, doing any of the antics that he was going around trying to do, I guarantee you he would not last more than 24 hours. Mexicans don't play about that kind of stuff. Like, he would literally not be living if he were to try this type of activity. So he's going around doing stuff he knows is going to anger people, just being blatantly disrespectful just so that he gets paid.
And now he's suffering the consequences. Please keep him in Korean jail. I hope he actually goes to jail. Can I donate to the Korean prison for arresting him? Nobody is on his side whatsoever. And it's not like this guy was making millions and millions of dollars. He had a pretty small following of viewers who were donating to him just to be a nuisance to everybody around them. How is that even content? And this isn't even the only example of this happening recently.
Vitaly thought it would be a great idea to steal a motorcycle, an industrial fan, a red light mask, and a couple guard hats, and then harass a bunch of Filipino citizens for his own live stream content. This was the worst decision of his life, because in the Philippines, stealing a car or a motorcycle is an automatic 20-year prison sentence. 20 years, though, for what he did sounds absolutely insane to me as a Westerner, as if he did this in the US, let's be realistic now, he would already be out on bail and would probably only be facing some fines. But that's why it's just so incredibly important for all these American creators to realize, if you travel abroad and mess around in other countries, you are at the mercy of their legal system. So you better respect their culture. Your American rights, they're pretty much gone as soon as you leave the country. And don't get me wrong, Vitaly definitely deserves to get punished for this. I'm just not so sure about 20 years. That's pretty crazy.
I don't know about that. If you know who this is, Vitaly has basically made a career out of doing this kind of stuff for years now. He was one of the pioneers on the prank channels on YouTube a long time ago, getting more and more extreme. He would go and streak at tons of live sporting events, getting arrested every time, but he wanted to do it because it would get him more attention. I mean, doing terrible things one after another just to keep his career alive, and now it's finally caught up with him because he could be put in prison for decades. Stealing a motorcycle isn't a prank, it's a crime. All of these prank YouTubers need to go. Isn't he a little too old to be doing pranks? Well, that was really the only content that actually got him attention, so he's kind of a one-trick pony. No, 20 years isn't enough. Johnny's Somali mode activated, the clip that we saw previously. So I mean, I could probably make one of these videos every single week with the examples that come out all the time, but that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.